So what is Recert 5 all about? Say you have a website and you want to protect your users' data with SSL encryption. You're going to need an up-to-date certificate signed by a certificate authority. In the old days, certificate authorities were large companies that charged big money to send millions of hyperactive employees to your house and make sure you were real and your website was everything that you said it was. Then, along came the nice folks at Let's Encrypt with free certificates for everyone. All it took for Let's Encrypt to usher in the utopia was for them to replace their staff with robots. In this case, the beloved CertBot. The end user, that's you, simply had to install a slightly modified web server that implemented CertBot. Your certificates would renew magically on your bare metal Dell Blade server from 2005 that you thought was cool then. Life was good. There was no suffering in the world of certificates anymore, and there seemed to be no reason for another open source project like Recert 5. Nothing to do but enjoy the peace and quiet. But engineers don't like peace and quiet. So they invented Kubernetes. And with Kubernetes came the containers. Containers are a wonderful innovation, but they do have their do's and don'ts. They do like to multiply like rabbits. They don't like to remember things. And they tend to have short and unpredictable lifespans. The world's web servers moved from our Dell antiques into containers, and we hoped again for the peace and quiet. But CertBot and containers did not get along. It is, after all, the noble mission of CertBot to deliver a fresh and secret certificate to the right location and to a vessel worthy of keeping the precious cargo safe. The responsibility of saving a certificate violated several of the container's do's and don'ts. First, there were so many containers. It was total chaos trying to figure out which one should take delivery. Even when delivery was made, the container would forget the certificate details. And finally, the containers could not be given any serious responsibility because they were too busy abruptly and unexpectedly dying all the time. So here we come back to it. What Recert 5 is all about. Recert 5 is implemented as a Kubernetes operator which orchestrates multiple containers in order to securely store and retrieve the vital Let's Encrypt certificate. Here's how it works. First, you install Recert 5 operator and it sits around consuming resources and does nothing on your Kubernetes cluster, just like all your other operators. You then create a Recert SSL reverse proxy CR, specifying the name, destination proxy, and number of replicas. Then Recert 5 springs to action and spawns an Nginx deployment and service. Then everything goes back to doing nothing, because Recert 5 doesn't believe that a person who has only installed one CR is worth helping. You then create a Recert CR where you specify a domain and point it to the reverse SSL proxy name. Then Recert 5 detects that a second CR has been installed and determines you are either seriously going through with this or you're going to uninstall the Recert 5 operator if it doesn't appear to do anything. Therefore, Recert 5 hastily spawns a CertBot Kubernetes job and modifies the HTTP cluster service to deliver Let's Encrypt traffic to the job's CertBot pod. The pod captures the updated certificate and saves it as a Kubernetes secret. All of the Nginx reverse proxy replicas are then restarted with the new Kubernetes secrets mounted on the file system. At this point, all HTTPS traffic for the domain is forwarded as HTTP traffic to the proxy. When it's time to renew the certificate, the same installation process is rerun. And best of all, the recertification is triggered by a Kubernetes cron job, so the certificate is automatically renewed every 2 months. So that is what Recert 5 is about and how it works. Follow the Getting Started guide to install Recert 5 Kubernetes operator on your cluster and live in peace. At least until the engineers come up with a better way to make life difficult again.